Todd Blanche is bad for America, Part 3. Todd Blanche has never once acted independently of Donald Trump. Every decision he has made since entering Trump's orbit has protected Trump, served Trump, or rewarded Trump's allies. That is not what an attorney general does. That's what a personal fixer does. And this guy, he's bad for America. He's personally fixed all of Donald Trump's problems. Here's the evidence. Blanche was a registered Democrat until 2024. He switched his party affiliation to Republican the same year he started defending Trump in criminal court. He didn't change his values. He changed his registration to follow his client. Before Blanche, Trump burned through lawyers. They quit, they got fired, they walked away from the most controversial client in American legal history. Blanche saw that and made a different calculation. He left his law firm partnership to take the case. His own colleagues pushed back on him for it. He did it anyways, and that tells you what this relationship is built on. Not principle, not justice, a career bet that paid off with the most powerful law enforcement position in the country. Then Trump made him the deputy attorney general, then the acting attorney general. And the first thing he did with that power was purge everyone who has ever held Trump accountable. At CPAC in March, Blanche stood on stage and said this out loud. There is not a single man or woman at the Department of Justice who had anything to do with those prosecutions. Those prosecutions he's referring to? The hush money case in New York, where Trump was convicted on 34 felony counts. That conviction still stands. The classified documents case and the January 6th election interference case was dropped. Not because Trump was innocent, but because DOJ policy says you cannot prosecute a sitting president. Over 200 people at the DOJ were either fired, forced into early retirement, or they left because they saw it coming. Then he turned to the FBI director and said that Director Patel has cleaned house there too. He said there isn't a single man or woman with a gun, a federal agent still in that organization that had anything to do with the prosecution of President Trump. He said that at a political conference on stage to resounding applause. 3 of those fired FBI agents filed a lawsuit citing Blanche's CPAC speech directly as evidence for the firings being illegal. Career employees, nonpartisan public servants, people who did their job gone because they had their jobs on a case that involved the president. That is not acting out law enforcement. That is acting out a purge to carry out protection for one individual. Then Trump handed Blanche the Library of Congress. The sitting Library of Congress was fired and Blanche was appointed to run it simultaneously with the DOJ. One man, acting Attorney General of the United States and acting Librarian of Congress at the same time. Legal scholars said it plainly. You cannot name an executive branch official to head a legislative branch agency. That makes it unconstitutional, illegal, and imprudent. The reasoning is this is a violation of the checks and balances. The appointment is being litigated in federal court. Trump didn't care. He handed it to Blanche anyways because Blanche does what Trump needs done. That is the pattern. Parties switched to follow Trump. DOJ purged to protect Trump from accountability, and the Library of Congress was handed over to him because Trump wanted it out of the hands of a black woman. The Senate is now being asked to confirm this man as the permanent Attorney General of the United States, the nation's top law enforcement officer, the person who is supposed to answer to the rule of law, not to the president. There is no vote scheduled yet, and that is why calling your senators right now matters for this. Tillis, Cornyn, Collins, and Murkowski, you have all said publicly that you have concerns with this appointment. The CPAC speech is on tape. The lawsuit is in court. The Library of Congress appointment is in court. The pattern is clear. Vote no on Todd Blanche as the Attorney General to the United States of America. And make sure that if you're watching this, you call 202-224-3121. And tell your senator to vote no on Todd Blanche. It only takes 2 minutes. And we're not done with this series, so keep checking in with us. And as always, go to LydiaForSenate.com if you would like to help us get on the ballot. We're unchaining Michigan for all of the future generations. Join us.